let's talk about...
I can spit some horrifying history facts.
Okay, can I throw my 2 cents in about history?
Yeah.
I think history is fascinating. And anyone who can study it and learn from it is incredible. Way to go. Like, you're a better person than me. Exhibit A.
It's true.
My transcripts will not show otherwise. I cannot, I'm not like a history, cool, Civil War, that was awesome. Like, what did we learn from that?
Was it awesome?
Like I think it's from a historical point of view. Is it? It's cool. Not that it happened. It's cool that something like that happened.
We're going to the Blake Digs a Hole podcast now.
I hope you brought your flashlights, baby, because we're going deep.
I brought my miner's helmet.
Yeah. I think history is incredible. It's fascinating. I would like to know more about it, but I can't retain stuff like that.
Well, is there any topic specifically you want to know about?
I think, and this ties to I don't want to talk about movies, but I think the movies that I've seen about either of the world wars, ooh, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that happened, and I didn't read about that in a history book.
I can go into the political atmosphere of the time. I know a lot about that, about the early World War I.
Carry on.
So people kind of think...
Give us a start date.
So start date,
or a star date for us Trekkies listening.
Ew.
Yeah, that's right. This is a Star Wars podcast. Get out of here, Trek nerds.
Stuff really started to heat up 1913.
Where am I?
Yes, which is 4 years before 1917 was made. Don't fact check me on that. Sam Raimi.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
You're such a pretty girl.
Times Blake was right, and a 1.
I'm not super good with the years in terms of when everything happened. I can go into the process. So it really started to heat up after the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. It didn't. A lot of people think it happened immediately after that, but no, there was a lot of breakdown and
tension building.
Yeah, it's the spark that lit the fire, but there was people dumping gunpowder out in front of a fireplace for a long time. Yeah. So this really started because Austro-Hungary wanted the land that Serbia occupied. At the time, Serbia was a very small country. Still are a very small country, but everything's kind of broken up there now.
If you ever look at a map there and you realize how many countries there are,
it's because of World War I and World War
II that area. I mean, shoot.
They did a lot of that in the war. Yeah. So. Konrad von Hotzendorf is the name of a Austro-Hungarian general, widely believed to be the reason World War I started.
Just check your imaginary watch.
No, a wig hair fell onto my arm, and I thought it was a bug.
Oh.
Sorry.
So a name that I've never heard of before.
Yep, it is the person who is oftentimes in historical texts given a majority of the blame for the war. Konrad von Hotzendorf. He looks about as early 1900s German as you can think he does.
I'm just gonna.
It's exactly that.
There he is.
To him, Serbians were trash people, essentially, something to be wiped out to occupy the land. But the Kaiser at the time was not about that. He didn't see the reason to engulf the continent in war over a tiny state of people, especially when Austro-Hungary at the time had such military power. This had been going on for close to a decade, which with every time this was brought up to the parliament, Franz Ferdinand would shoot it down, essentially. He was the guy preventing the war, which is why when he was assassinated, Konrad von Hotzendorf was able to play political games to get the war rolling. It wasn't the Black Hand that started the war, it was Konrad von Hotzendorf.
The Black Hand, for those following along at home, are the people in Skyrim who approach you with assassin contracts.
No. I mean, they are a group of Serbian assassins. They were a political terrorist group at the time, and they didn't like Franz Ferdinand.
Connect those dots.
It was a pretty elaborate assassination scheme. They messed up the first attempt. They shot at him and missed.
I saw that movie. Was that?
There's a movie about that?
I think so.
I didn't know about that.
I'm going to go ahead and insert the movie Anthropoid. I think that's about that.
Never heard of it.
That was a great movie.
But they miss the first time they try and shoot him. The car takes off. They throw a grenade. That also misses, but it disables the car, and then they kill him. So it was like a whole big thing when they tried to kill him. They really wanted this guy dead. I still don't know why. That's just a research blind spot on my part. But that really kicked off Austro-Hungary just having the full send for the war, and Germany being bound to them via many various treaties was kind of like, we don't really want this to happen. Please don't do this. Yeah. But they invaded Serbia anyway. Now, what they didn't know at the time was Serbia was the only military to have fought in a modern conflict. And when I say modern conflict, I'm talking about machine guns and artillery.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, militaries are used to cavalry charges across open fields with horses.
Yeah.
No one really got the scope of how horrendous this conflict was going to be.
Yeah.
So whenever Austro-Hungarian troops would try and get into Serbia, keep in mind, Austro-Hungary was probably 5 times the size of Serbia, would get kicked out every time. They never gained any ground because they would get pounded by artillery or ripped up with machine guns.